The mainstream gaming media has been melting down over all of the Sweet Baby Inc. backlash, and they have tried their best to defend not only Sweet Baby Inc., but narrative consultation companies in general. But now, of course, the Kotaku editor has gone into a CBC radio appearance and completely lied about the Sweet Baby Inc. backlash. I have a few things to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, follow me on social media, and consider supporting through Patreon or through YouTube memberships. Now, I have said for years at this point, do not trust mainstream gaming media. They are liars, they are activists, and at the end of the day, they will throw gamers under the bus at any chance they get, and that is exactly what Alyssa here is doing. Over the past few weeks, she has been someone who has been trying their best to defend Sweet Baby Inc. and also narrative consultation companies in general, and they cannot accept the fact that gamers are educated and that consumers can speak with their wallets and ultimately not want to support a company just because people like this believe that that company is doing, God's work and is saving the gaming industry, even though there's nothing wrong with the gaming industry except for, companies being extremely scummy and predatory monetization practices and releasing janky products. That's not what they want to talk about, though. They want to talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion. It says, though, in yet further proof that the mainstream video game press needs to fudge the details about the current discourse in order to convince the public of their latest gamers are evil narrative, a recent appearance on Canadian public radio, not very surprising, Sweet Baby Inc. is a Canadian company, saw the Kotaku editor Alyssa Mercant claim that the purpose of this, as they want to call it, harassment campaign, or the Sweet Baby Inc. detected Steam Curator group, was not to simply help inform players of the consultation company's involvement in a given game, but rather outright prevent people from buying and playing them. The list was created so that consumers could see what Sweet Baby Inc. affected, what products Sweet Baby Inc. affected, and ultimately, yes, there may be tons of people, obviously 300,000 people, who do not want to support Sweet Baby Inc. in the future and are using it to stray away from Sweet Baby Inc. games, but at the same time, somebody that likes Sweet Baby Inc. could look at this list and go, I want to support all these games because I like Sweet Baby. It's not like it was a list so that people could find the developers on projects and go and harass them. That is not what this was at all whatsoever. But of course, this is the narrative that these individuals are running with. Now, of course, the full transcript is on CBC's webpage, but of course, Alyssa here makes no mention of the harassment campaign started by Sweet Baby Inc. employees like Chris Kindred and Maya Felix Kramer against Crabrutus simply because he created a comprehensive list of games Sweet Baby Inc. has been affiliated with. This all started because they started a harassment campaign against one single individual, and the Streisand effect happened, and they cannot fathom the idea that gamers at this point are more relevant than them, that we actually matter and they do not. And of course, going into a CBC interview about this just shows how desperate Kotaku and Sweet Baby and all of these companies are. They tried to rally the left-leaning gamers who don't think censorship is bad or think DEI quotas are okay, and it failed epically. They are getting bodied right now from both left and right-leaning gamers, but instead of saying, yeah, this isn't a fight we can win, and backing down, they're calling us ists and phobes and conspiracy theorists and going to legacy media and trying to spread their version of the story, which of course isn't the truth. Now, of course, because they failed to keep this contained to the gaming sphere, they are trying to bring in non-gamers from the political left by invoking their boogeyman, Donald Trump. Trump's name is brought up twice in this interview, but of course in conjunction with terms like conspiracy theories. She says, I think it's a perfect storm of a lot of things. Someone at Sweet Baby noticed that this account was made on Steam and noticed how it was gaining traction and noticed that it was intending to prevent people from buying and playing playing these games, and that kicked off even more organization from them, the people who made the group. And then it just kind of leans into the conspiracy theories that plague the internet, that plague the first iteration of this movement against wokeness or women or people of color in games, and ultimately led to the playbook of the Trump White House. So I think it is a perfect storm of the easy people to use as scapegoats, and what happens when the dark corners of the internet sort of organize around something they believe is a conspiracy happening in the industry. Sometimes conspiracies are true. I know that she can't fathom that idea, but it is the truth. Sometimes people simply find evidence of things happening, put it on social media, and of course they are going to call it a conspiracy theory because they don't want people to recognize Sweet Baby Inc.'s name. They do not want people to recognize the organization known as Black Girl Gamers. They want these companies to continue to, exist outside of the spotlight until they are massive companies. And in my opinion, I would consider Sweet Baby to be an extremely influential company at this point, even though they claim that they've only got 16 to 20 employees. Look at the damage they've done to the industry in only a few short years of existing. I mean, they've worked on Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man 2, God of War Ragnarok. We've got some smaller games like Goodbye Volcano High. Of course, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. It seems that they're going to be digging their claws into the upcoming Wonder Woman video game. I mean, we are not talking about small or insignificant game projects here. We are talking about some of the biggest games to release in the industry. This is why it is so important that people know who Sweet Baby is and what Sweet Baby and all of these narrative consultation companies are doing. And it's hilarious to see people like this try to run cover outside of the gaming sphere because their original plan failed so epically. And of course, hate or love Trump, he's got nothing to do with this. This is about gamers coming together to fight back against this evil, against these individuals who do not care at all about the gaming industry and about video games and gamers. That we are talking about people who are trying to destroy the industry because they believe it is filled with, straight white men who, of course, are evil in their opinion. They believe that the industry could be more diverse, could be more inclusive, and how are they going to change the industry for what they deem as the better? They are going to destroy the pillars that already exist, and that is the problem. That is why I take the time, that is why I call out companies like Sweet Baby, and I will continue to do so. At the end of the day, hearing about the mainstream activists trying to run defense for Sweet Baby Inc. and rally the troops to their cause won't come as much of a surprise to many of you, and this is why I will continue to call out gaming journalism because it is still in such a rough state. And with these articles and with these interviews, it just proves that over the years since Gamergate 1, the industry has not changed all that much, and gaming journalism has not changed all that much. Of course, they love to call Gamergate 1 a major harassment campaign, but it was all about ethics in journalism, which is exactly the conversation we are having right now about Kotaku and Polygon and all of these same people who were running rampant back in 2014. It'll be interesting to see if any other mainstream outlets decide to pick up this story and talk about Sweet Baby Inc. Of course, they would absolutely love it if that happened because the Kotakus are desperate to try to get any eyes on this situation that would be in favor of what Sweet Baby Inc. does, but of course, only time will tell. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.